What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Malefic deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because this deck is an extremely fun deck to play that can summon out all sorts of nostalgic boss monsters in Malefic form. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Malefic Paradigm Dragon. This card is one of the most powerful Malefic monsters ever created, with the ability that it cannot be normal summoned or set, it must be special summoned from your hand by banishing a Malefic monster from your X deck while Malefic Paradigm Dragon is not on the field. Which the card you're always banishing to summon this card out is going to be your copy of Malefic Paradox Dragon. This card also has the ability that if Malefic World is not on the field, destroy this card. And once per turn, you can actually send a Malefic card from your deck to the graveyard to return one of your banished level 8 synchro monsters to the X deck, then special summon that monster from the X deck, and also you can only attack with Malefic monsters for the rest of the turn, which is a pretty cool effect. We then play 3 copies of Malefic Cyber End Dragon. This card is an amazing 3-of that comes out with 4,000 attack points and is ridiculously easy to summon. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card cannot be special summoned except by banishing a Cyber End Dragon from your X deck, but there can only be one face-up Malefic monster on the field, and other monsters you control cannot declare attacks, and if there's no face-up field spell card on the field, destroy this card, which all of your Malefic monsters share that common effect, that they get destroyed if there's not a face-up field spell, and also they have the ability to have to banish one of their original forms from the X deck or the deck to be able to actually summon them out. We then play 3 copies of Malefic Stardust Dragon. This card is an amazing 3-of in the build that actually gives us a little bit of protection because it makes it so field spell cards cannot be destroyed by card effects, which is actually a great effect to help us protect our copy of Malefic World. We then play a single copy of Malefic Rainbow Dragon. This card is great as a 1-of in the build as well because this card has 4,000 attack points and it's very easy to summon out to our side of the field by just banishing our copy of Rainbow Dragon directly from our deck, giving us the ability to summon out this awesome boss monster. We then play 3 copies of Malefic Paradox Gear. Malefic Paradox Gear is an amazing 3-of in the build and such a cool combo piece that if a face-up field spell is on the field, you can actually tribute this card to special summon a Malefic Parallel Gear from the deck. Then add a Malefic monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card. And if a Malefic monster would banish a monster to special summon itself by its own effect, you can actually banish this card you control or in the graveyard instead, giving you the ability to have another way to summon out our cards. We then play 3 copies of Malefic Parallel Gear. This card is an awesome tuner with the ability that when using this card as a synchro material, the other synchro material is one Malefic monster in your hand, making it super easy to step into different synchro plays in this deck by using our Malefic monsters in our hand and summoning this card out to our side of the field, and it makes it super easy to step into level 10 or level 12 synchro plays in this deck. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get in to the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Terraforming. Terraforming is an amazing 1-of in the deck to help us get to our copy of Malefic World. We then made a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is extremely helpful in the deck to basically just stop our opponent's hand traps when we're going in for all of our plays. We play a single copy of 1 for 1. 1 for 1 is great in the deck to help us summon our copy of Paradox Gear to our side of the field. We play a single copy of Pot of Prosperity. Pot of Prosperity is awesome in the deck to help us dig into the deck for the exact cards that we need, like a copy of Malefic World. We then play a single copy of Triple Tactics Talent. Triple Tactics Talent is awesome in the deck as a 1 to let us draw 2 cards, take control of one of our opponent's monsters, or look at our opponent's hand, and choose a card from it and shuffle it in the deck just in case our opponent hand traps us. With my single copy of Synchro Rumble. Synchro Rumble is awesome in the build to basically use this card as a searchable monster born, letting us target a tuner or a level 7 or 8 dragon synchro monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position, which is a great effect, and plus this card is searchable off the Crimson Dragon. With my single copy of Malefic Divide. This card helps out a lot in the deck, but you only need a single copy. But this card has the ability to let you target a Malefic monster in the graveyard and special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions, but its effects are negated. Also banish it during the end phase, giving us the ability to bring back our Malefic cards to our side of the field. We then play 2 copies of Malefic Selector. Malefic Selector is great as a 2-of in the build, letting us banish 2 Malefic cards from the graveyard to add 2 Malefic cards from our deck to our hand, except another copy of this card with different names from each other and from banished cards, which is a pretty cool effect to just grab the exact cards that you need off this card's effect. We then play 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness is an amazing 3-of in the build, just to let us dig into the deck for the exact cards that we need. We then play 3 copies of Synchro Overtake. Synchro Overtake is great as a 3-of in the build because this card has a great ability that you reveal a synchro monster in your extra and then choose one synchro material whose name is listed on that card and then add it to your hand or special summon that monster from the deck or the graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extract for the turn you activate this card except for synchro monsters, which is totally fine because we're going to use this card with our copy of Paradox Dragon to summon our copy of Parallel Gear because Paradox Dragon actually mentions Parallel Gear as a material, so we can instantly bring it out to our side of the field using Synchro Overtake, which is amazing. We then play 3 copies of Malefic World. Malefic World is basically what the entire deck revolves around, with this card having an awesome effect that while this card is faced on the field, you can activate this effect instead of conducting your normal draw. During your draw phase, you choose 3 Malefic cards from your deck and have your opponent pick one of them at random to add to your hand, and you shuffle the rest back in the deck, which is a pretty cool ability to be able to use to grab one of our Malefic cards. We then play 3 copies of Malefic Territory. This card is actually what makes the deck insane. With the ability, when this card is activated, you get to activate a Malefic World directly from your deck. Also, while that card is in the field zone, neither player can target a card in the field zone with a card effect, and the Malefic monster effect that there can only be one face-up Malefic monster on the field becomes there can only be one face-up Malefic monster on the field with the same name, which is a pretty cool ability to be able to use to basically summon out multiple Malefic monsters to your side of the field. Also, during the battle phase, negate the effects of face-up Malefic monsters on the field so that they can all attack, which is amazing. So, that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 2, starting off with a single copy of Centurion Phalanx. Centurion Phalanx is really cool as a 1-of because this card is actually searchable off of one of our synchro monsters, which is actually going to be Centurion Auxilia. And this card has the ability to target a face-up monster on the field and banish it, and if you do, during the standby phase of the next turn, special summon that banished monster to its owner's field, which is a great ability to be able to use. Also, you can banish this card from the graveyard to target a Centurion synchro monster in your graveyard and special summon it, but it loses 1,500 attack points, and you can only use one effect of this card per turn and only once that turn. We then play a single copy of Skill Drain. Skill Drain actually helps us out a lot in this deck to basically just negate the effects of our Malefic monsters. So we just have massive 4,000 attack point monsters on the field, and it really disrupts our opponent's plays, making this card a definite 1-of in the build. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start with 2 copies of Malefic Paradox Dragon. Malefic Paradox Dragon is an awesome boss monster that does require a copy of Malefic Parallel Gear, plus a non-tuner Malefic monster to summon this card out to your side of the field. And it also has a great effect that when this card is synchro summoned, you can select a synchro monster in either player's graveyard and special summon it to your side of the field, which is an amazing ability just to help you get another monster on the field. We made a single copy of the Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon is great as a one in the deck to basically just use this card to tag it out to summon out all sorts of awesome synchro monsters in this extract. Plus, it can search Synchro Rumble. We made a single copy of Centurion Legatia. This card is really cool as a one-of in the deck because this card is your monsters with 2,000 or less attack cannot be destroyed by battle. And also, if this card is special summoned, you can draw a card, then destroy the monster that your opponent controls with the highest attack. Your choice, if a tie, which is a pretty cool ability to be able to use. We made a single copy of Centurion Auxilia. This card helps out a lot in the deck because face-up cards in your spell and trap card zone cannot be destroyed by card effects, and also if this card is special summoned, you can add a Centurion card from your deck to your hand, instantly grabbing our trap card, which is pretty cool to grab failings of this card's effect. Like a single copy of Red Supernova Dragon. This card helps out a lot in the build because it comes out absolutely massive, and also it's very easy to summon using the Crimson Dragon's effect. Let's see a copy of Cosmic Blazar Dragon. Cosmic Blazar is absolutely crazy because this card is actually a walking negate and has some really cool abilities to be able to summon out this card using the Crimson Dragon's effect. We then lay a single copy of Stardust Sylph Divine Dragon. This card is great to help us basically make it so our cards cannot be destroyed, as this card has a really cool ability. The first time each card you control would be destroyed each turn by battle or by card effect, it is not destroyed, which is a great effect just to give us a little bit of protection for our Malefic territory and our copy of Malefic World, giving us a lot of protection with this card. Plus, this card is actually a walking negate. And like a single copy of Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel is great in the build as a one-of to basically just use this card as a banish, and it helps out a lot in the build because it's very easy to summon in this deck. And like a single copy of Dispatter. Dispatter is awesome in the deck as well because it helps us bring back banished cards to our side of the field, and it's a walking negate. And like a single copy of the Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign. This card is crazy powerful in the deck because for each banished card, this card gains 100 attack and defense, and monsters that your opponent control lose 100 attack and defense. And if a card would be destroyed by a card effect, you can actually banish a card from the grave instead to give you a little bit of protection for this card specifically. And if a card is banished, you can actually banish a card each from your opponent's field and graveyard, which is a great ability to use in this deck. We then played 2 copies of Stardust Dragon and 2 copies of Cyber End Dragon so we can summon out their Malefic forms. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I would enjoy this deck. Is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Malefic deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's so fun to be able to play, and it's insane how powerful it is to be able to summon out 4,000 attack point monsters constantly to your side of the field just to help you swing in for game. So, that's gonna do this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. So then, guys,